balance, having balance in my life, taking care of myself, taking care of my health, getting too obsessed with making an outcome happen in ways that may not make sense to other people. And anyway, leaving voids in other areas of my life. Probably my biggest weakness is finding balance in my health. It really seems to be hard to juggle, like business and health.
I would say my greatest weaknesses are to be empathetic to people is probably a big one. It's not that I don't sense empathy, but it's more so that I don't know how to always respond in an empathetic manner to somebody. So that's kind of a big challenge to me. Just like the whole like feeling spectrum of other people, it makes me feel kind of uncomfortable, and I rather just fix someone's problem versus have to just be empathetic. To me, that doesn't solve the issue enough to where I want to solve it. And then the other piece would be just dealing with like the common little like mishaps in life that will kind of throw off things I've already structured and planned. So that could be kind of frustrating. You can account and plan for so much, but there comes to be a point where there's just little things that no one would ever expect to happen, and then they happen, and then you have to deal with that in the moment. So
it's evolving. The weaknesses are changing as I really am making an effort to look into the corners of my heart, mind, and life, and sort of face the demons. I think for a long time I would say my greatest weakness would be the sensory, and I think to a certain extent it still is. The sensory world being putting off tasks, being so frustrated and overwhelmed by small menial tasks like fixing a hole in the wall or fixing the sink that's leaking a little bit, that does come up to bite me pretty hard later when all those things are put off. I think the weakness that I'm trying to tackle next is either a runner-up or kind of competes with that would be a lack of just rest. And I think for me it would be physical rest. I think that I sometimes think of intentional looking at my heart and how that's doing counts as rest, but sometimes that ends up being a bit of work too. And just learning how to really not like sit back on the couch, so to speak, and not just consume more television and more ideas, but to actually just stop and let my body and mind have a break. Always is helpful in the future, but it's never natural to pursue that. So I think that would either be a runner-up or a competing weakness.
Indecisiveness, sort of overthinking things, I guess. I was gonna say like anxiety or obsessiveness, but it's not it's not the same as like proper obsessiveness or anything. It's not quite the word, but overthinking maybe. Getting too much in my own head.
Making people feel comfortable. I would say like for the majority of people. I wouldn't say everybody, but I do tend to, it's very hard for me to deal with people's emotions without trying to give them advice, or to just listen. It's hard for me to listen sometimes. I mean, I can do it, I can force myself to do it, but I'm just oh, well, you should kind of think about it this way. And it's everything that, people that are good with people tell you not to do. But I would want someone to do that for me, honestly. It'd be hey, what about this? What about this? Give you options here. Yeah. So that's probably a weakness.
I would say that my greatest weakness is that I don't do well with a lot of sensory input. I'm obviously, I feel very energetic and outgoing, but if you start throwing more than 1 or 2 balls at me to try and catch, from unexpected angles at one time, I get immediately just completely overwhelmed and dismantled. It's honestly why I don't travel that much, because going to the airport and the process of all of that just stresses me out to no end.
As of now in my life, my greatest weakness would probably be not being aware when I'm going into different states or becoming aggressive, right? For example, so I would say that's probably my greatest weakness.
My greatest weakness right now is not taking as much kind of unconscious action. So a lot of times I'll put on the brakes as far as thinking too much before I go into things. And so I'm trying to train myself to literally just trust my gut and stop trying to reverse engineer everything and trying to understand everything before just jumping in. And literally just pedal to the metal and just running and just going at things a lot quicker, basically without overthinking everything.
I constantly badger people with questions. I constantly ask them, hey, can you help me do this? Can you fill me in on this? Because I'm not very confident within myself. I'd say that's the number one issue. I end up making a decision. I ask people, hey, what's this? Can I do this? But then I sort of end up doing it anyway. I was gonna do something anyway, but I ask if it's okay to do it even before, just to make sure everyone knows that I asked, so I can't put the blame on me. It's like a little scapegoat thing. It's like you're not taking responsibility for what you're doing because you're asking other people, is this okay first? I'd say that's my greatest weakness. I can see how it would rub people up the wrong way, especially when I'm asking questions. And some people would feel obliged to answer it. And then when they answer it, they already know that I'm going to do that thing anyway. So it's like I didn't help them by doing what they said, so I could have just done what I needed to do. If that makes sense, right? Could be anything, like choosing a certain product to buy. If I was going to buy one product, I ask everyone, and I'm always going to buy that product anyway.
Hey, thank you guys so much for watching this hopefully awesome piece of content. I would love to hear any questions that you guys would like to see us ask featured guests that comes on, regardless of the personality type. So please leave those in the comments below. Please feel free to like, subscribe, and share. And we cannot wait to see you guys in the next video. Take care.